number of people experiencing homelessness in Hawaii has nearly doubled in the last year. That's according to a new federal report that highlights disturbing statistics for Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders. Eddie Dowd has the details.
Okay, so today we are going to Hawaii and we're gonna see this problem that keeps on getting worse and worse every year, and that is homelessness in Hawaii. People cannot afford to buy houses. People cannot afford to rent houses. Hawaii has some of the highest living costs in America. So before I begin, please consider liking and subscribing so that we can grow this channel. And let's get back to the news.
The annual Homeless Assessment Report released every December by the federal government takes data from every state in the U.S. This year, it shows an 18% increase in homelessness nationwide. Here in Hawaii, it has nearly doubled. According to the report, that sharp increase is largely due to the thousands of people who lost their homes in the August 8th Maui wildfires.
Unfortunately, when I saw this report, it does not surprise me.
The executive director for Family Promise of Hawaii, a nonprofit that helps families find housing, says what's most troubling is the national data for families with children. According to the report, Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders had the highest unsheltered rates among all racial groups.
Homelessness is really driven by economic factors, the cost of housing, the cost of living, not being able to pay the bills. And unfortunately, Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders are disproportionately affected by those economic factors as well.
Over on Maui, efforts continue to find permanent housing for displaced fire survivors. Here on Oahu, the nonprofit opened 2 new locations, one in Mo'iliili and one in Wahiwa. There is one positive sign in the federal report. The number of veterans experiencing homelessness in Hawaii decreased when compared to the year before. Just this year, the VA expanded operations in Hawaii by opening a brand new state-of-the-art clinic in Kapolei.
This is our commitment to veterans in the Pacific Islands for the 21st century.
The Green administration says it remains committed to reducing homelessness across the islands. So far, it has opened 17 kauhale living facilities that equal a total of 760 beds. The most recent one just this past week on North King Street.
They will be able to have their pets, which is an important part of life. They will be welcomed, and this is our attempt to constantly break the cycle of homelessness.
Okay, so I don't even know what happened to the money. You remember there was a time that The Rock and Oprah were raising money for the fire victims in Hawaii. I wonder what happened to that money. But yeah, Hawaii is experiencing rapid homelessness. It got made worse by the fire that happened there. So what happens when you are homeless and there's no jobs? It's a miserable condition. People are gonna move. So in this other clip that I'm gonna show you, 1 in 3 families in Hawaii are considering to move. They are moving out of Hawaii. I don't know if that's gonna work really, because they move out, 1 in 3, one family moves out, another family moves in from the mainland, because for many people, living in Hawaii is like living in paradise. So many people in the US, they always want to move to Hawaii. So even if one family moves out of Hawaii, another one is replacing them. So I don't know if that really works. So we're gonna watch this next video talking about that move that's happening. And as you watch, please like and subscribe.
At 4:30, a new Aloha United Way report released today shows 1 in 3 Hawaii households are considering moving out of state.
Annalisa Burgos joins us with more on what is driving this out-migration and its impact. Annalisa.
That's right, guys. Hawaii's high cost of living and lack of affordable housing mean more than 500,000 residents are barely scraping by. That's one of the findings from the 2024 State of Alice in Hawaii report, which looks at the struggles of asset-limited, income-constrained, employed households.
Okay, so she just said Alice, the acronym. So let's go to we're gonna go back to the video, but let's go to our friendly AI who's gonna take over the world in the future. what ALICE stands for. ALICE stands for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, and Employed. So ALICE, that's for households that work but cannot afford basic needs like food, housing, healthcare. They are forced to choose between paying rent or buying groceries. And it includes people like cashiers, waiters, child care providers, and other essential workers. So it's people who are really struggling. And I understand why they're struggling, because the housing market is crazy in Hawaii. Like, if you look at the average home prices on Zillow, the average is $800,000 to buy a house in Hawaii. And the value, it keeps going up and up every year. Like, if you look at this chart, in 2017, it was all the way down. It was like 500,000 in 2017. Right now, it's 800,000. That is if you want to buy a house. What if you are renting a house? If you're renting a house, back to our friendly AI, who's going to take over the world. I have to keep reminding it is friendly so that when they come for us, they're going to spare me. But anyway, the AI says the average rent for a studio apartment is $1,400. One bedroom is $1,700. That's insane. Two bedroom is $2,000. Three bedroom is like $3,000. That is insane. It's crazy rent that they're paying. Let's go back to the video. It's just a short video. We're gonna finish with it. But now you know the acronym ALICE, and you've seen how much homes cost in Hawaii, and you've seen the average rent for a studio apartment is like an average for one bedroom in many states in America. Back to the video.
That's known as ALICE. First, the good news. Fewer Hawaii households are living in poverty, down to 12% versus 14% in 2022. Advocates attribute that to government programs and increased minimum wages, but also more ALICE families are leaving the islands.
It's 180,000 people right now are considering leaving the state of Hawaii. From our workforce, from our younger families, our Hawaiian families, and that is something that we are deeply concerned about at Aloha United Way, and of course, Bank of Hawaii and Hawaii Community Foundation.
These working poor make too much to qualify for government aid and live paycheck to paycheck. Many are on the brink of financial crisis.
This is absolutely critical because affordability and just economic well-being in our state is not where we need it to be.
So who is ALICE? They're likely to be women or have children. 58% of Native Hawaiians and 52% of Filipinos live under the ALICE threshold. You're more likely to be ALICE if you live on the neighbor islands. Maui is especially vulnerable, especially since the Lahaina fires.
The people that are leaving Hawaii are the people that can afford to leave. They're our workforce. They're the people, they're our engine. And if this continues, we're going to have this hollow community where our engine is just not there, right? And you're going to have very, very poor people, and we're going to have very, very wealthy people.
Advocates hope the report compels policymakers, businesses, and community leaders to work together to reverse the trend.
Employers will never be able to elevate wages to meet the cost of living requirements of this place. Unless we come up with a host of very disruptive policies that drive down the cost of living, these people that are striking are going to leave.
To fill gaps, Aloha United Way and other nonprofits are helping ALICE families access financial stability, affordable housing, and higher-paying jobs. Mayor Rick Mangiardi said he plans to lobby for ALICE-focused funding during this legislative session.
We need to own this, all of us. And so, from that standpoint, this data becomes the argument you put on the table when you say we have to change.
In some ways to help ALICE families include tax credits, safety net programs, support for caregivers, mental health resources, debt reduction programs, and financial incentives. You can find a link to the report on our website, hawaiinewsnow.com.
Okay, so that's quite sad that this place that is basically like paradise and the people are struggling, the locals, the people from their original people, they can barely make a living, and some are forced to leave. 1 in 3 are leaving. It's quite sad. that only millionaires and very rich people are the ones who can, live there. Like I'm seeing, even in the comments, some are saying they moved away after they finished college, and the politicians are not doing anything as usual. So it's quite sad overall. I feel for the people of Hawaii. If you can, you might have to move away because it's gonna be just for the rich. Now, please consider liking, subscribing, and share this on all the network. I will see you on the next one.
Oh my goodness, all the networks! Wow! All the networks!